Hi everybody. Today I'm going to do some life drawing from the computer. The Royal Academy of Arts have been doing some life drawing using human models, but also using animals, and they've put a couple of videos up of a pony that they had posing for life drawing classes there, and it was also televised. I've included the links so you can access them. There's lots and lots of other life drawing available online through various organisations, including places like Elysium in Swansea, who are currently doing life drawing on Tuesday evenings, and it's free. So access things for free while you can. Normally you'd have to pay if you attend a life drawing class. The male model in the longer video that I've included, I drew about a year ago at a space called Art Space in Islington, and his background was dance. So he was doing lots of very physical poses with two other women in sort of dance moves, holding dance moves, and he also did a pose standing on his head, which I think I told a few of you about in class, and it was incredible to watch. Anyway, I thought what I'd do is if I show you how I approach life drawing using this technology that we've got access to at the moment, the Zoom technology, then you could potentially have a go. It might be that you've never tried any form of life drawing before. Obviously it's a bit different because it's through a screen, but it might encourage you to join a class or even try some at home. It doesn't have to be nude. It can be partially dressed or even just portraiture, just have a go at drawing yourself or one of your family members or a friend, or if you have a pet, have a good go at drawing it from life rather than from a photograph. But today it's going to be all about horses. I'm just going to flick through this book in a minute, just show you a few of my sketches that I've done in the past, and then I'll flip the camera onto the screen so you can see what I'm drawing, and then onto my sketchbook, and then you can either follow me or watch me and then have a go yourself in your own time. These poses are online forever probably, and they're only short poses to begin with, 3 minutes long, so it gives you a chance just to loosen up a bit. Alright, have a go. It's really good fun, and it's an excellent way of improving your drawing skills. Alright, I look forward to seeing the results and see you at the end. Okay, so here we have my sketchbook of horses. These are mainly done in pencil and with a little bit of shading. These were just done from images online. I like to draw. I started drawing horses when I was really young. It was the first thing my mother taught me to draw. So I always sort of go back to them on occasion, because even though my work is predominantly abstract, I do like to draw sort of fairly realistic images every now and again. You can see where I've used cross-hatching in this one, and that's using lines going in diagonally opposite directions. Shading using the pencil, but also using my finger to smudge, and also rubbing out. You can see here that I've used a rubber just to remove some of the surface. So lots of different techniques to learn. But mainly it is about studying the form so that you get the form right, and then applying colour or just pencil to define the tones, using structures like this just to get the drawing right. These are just some sketches I was doing for some paintings recently. This is how I work. I just do squares and do rough drawings in preparation for paintings. This is a picture of Red Rum, who used to be my favourite, or still is my favourite racehorse. I fed him polos out of my mouth in Southport, near Formby, where I used to go and visit him. And there we have our blank. So now I'm going to put the video on and I will do a few sketches, quick sketches here to show you what to do next. Okay, so here's my laptop. I have just opened that link that I've sent to you, which says Pony Pose 1. You should get something come up that looks like this. So you should have YouTube. You don't need to register with YouTube to use this facility. You can register and get or subscribe to my channel, for example, and that involves adding your email, etc., etc. But you don't have to do that to watch the films. Most people think that you do, but you don't have to. So to access this, I haven't put any of my information in. So I've just clicked on the link and it's brought this page up. And then all you need to do is click on the video, right? So life drawing short pose 1. And this will come up. And if you go to full screen, now you can watch this on your TV if you want to. If you've got a big screen TV, then you can link your laptop to the TV. Or if you've got an iPhone, there's a thing called screen sharing, which allows you to link it to your television. So if you want a bigger screen to look at, then you can do that. But you can see it's playing. We're 2 minutes 36 into the pose. I'm just going to full screen it. This is your full screen here. So you can see it bigger. And if you want to start again, you just go back to the beginning and click on the beginning and it starts to play again. Pause it, play it there. Okay. And you can pause it at any time. So you don't necessarily have to draw the pony while it's moving. Some people get a bit frustrated by the fact that it's moving. But with this format, you can pause it. And there you have a still that you can draw from. You can move it along and along just by clicking along that red line at the bottom and along, and you can reverse it, and you can just have it on a still image rather than on a moving image. It's up to you. All right, so like I said, just click on the links and you'll get the different, the other pose is just the pony in the opposite direction. So the head is on the left rather than on the right. And then the longer one has some male figures in it, and then the ponies at the end. So you can choose which ones you want to use. Okay, it's not the same, like I said, as drawing from real life, but it's as near as we can get if you don't have access to ponies. I know there's plenty of them around here. I mean, I've got sheep in the field at the moment. I could be drawing those instead. And again, they're moving, so if I wanted to, I could take pictures of them. But, you know, have a go. It's quite good fun. And this pony's very well behaved. Look at him. He's so pretty. All right, so the next shot you'll see is me drawing this little pony. Okay, let's just have a quick chat about pencils. I've got several pencils here. I've got a 4B. I've got a normal HB retractable pencil that's got a rubber on the end. A 6B, another 4B, a 5B and a 2B. All these pencils, these are all soft pencils. Okay, this is soft, and then they get softer the higher the number. So that's softer than that one, that's softer than that one, that one's softer than that one. Okay, these are just an HB standard pencil, and I've also got a pen just in case I want to darken areas up, and I've got a rubber, and I've got a knife as well to sharpen my pencils, or you can use a sharpener. I've got the pony on my laptop over my right shoulder, and I've got the sketchbook on my left, and I've got the sketchbook in landscape mode rather than portrait, because the pony is longer than taller, so that would be better to use that. And I'm just going to roughly now just start to sketch this pony. Now normally when I sketch a pony or a horse, I would start with circles. So 2 circles, 1 circle, like that. Neck, leg, 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 leg. Yeah, so you've got a structure like a horse there. But with a life drawing, you wouldn't necessarily do that. But because he's in a similar pose to this, I am going to do that. So I'm just going to roughly put down the circle for the rump, circle for the chest, the neck, the head. Now this pony is what it looks like a sort of, it could be a Welsh mountain pony actually. It's got very small ears and a very short neck and short legs. So we have to accommodate for that in the structure of the pony. You know, the longer the legs, the longer the neck, the more horse-like it becomes. The shorter the neck, the shorter the legs, the more pony it becomes. It's a bit like when you're drawing faces and you split the face up according to whether you've got an adult face or a child's face. Okay, so the structure is there, and now I just keep looking at the pony, and I can see he's got his head quite low down, but he's quite bulky under here, and his legs are quite short. Now when you're in a life drawing setting, you would use your pencil to measure. So what you do is you put the top of the pencil, say at the top of the withers there, that's the withers, and then you would run your finger, this is looking at the life creature or the human that you're drawing, and you would run your finger down like that, and then you would measure it to your paper. So obviously I can't do that because we've got 2 screens here, but if you were drawing from real life, you can measure, like even in the landscape, you can measure using your finger, running up and down your pencil like this, to measure the length of something in comparison to the length here. So you'd measure that length, and then you'd measure, you take that length and you go, right, well there's 2 of those here, 2 of those lengths, in the same way that you could measure the length of the body against the height of the leg. So if you know that that length is correct, then you can measure it accordingly to that length. I hope that makes sense. It's quite difficult to explain when you're not in front of the thing itself, right? So anyway, his chest comes down here, and then one of his legs is slightly projecting backwards, and again the length of the leg, the way I see it on the screen, is that length there from there to there is the same as that length from there to there. So if I make a mark, then his foot, his hoof, shouldn't come down any lower than that. So it's the same as that. Can you see? And that will make him a short pony rather than a horse. And he's got quite furry feet, fetlocks. So I'm just going to give him some hooves like that, and then we're going to put the back leg. Now the back leg is slightly higher, well the hoof is slightly higher, sort of up here. So the feather comes down there, but the hoof is there. All right, same back here. Now you can see his leg is projecting backwards, and we're going to try and get this in without going over this line here. So again, we've got a hoof, he's got hairy fetlocks again, and quite chunky legs. So keep his legs. Now because this leg is quite thick, I've realised that I haven't put enough shape on the back here on his rump. So there we have the back leg, and he is resting. Horses do this a lot, but he's resting in the bit that I'm looking at, which will change according to how he moves around. he's sort of resting his back leg up, which shows he's quite comfortable, because they don't rest in this way unless they're comfortable. So he's sort of lifting that leg up a little. So it looks a bit odd, but it's correct. Okay. This comes down here, and then we've got his tail coming down quite long to there, and then up to his chest. His chest is quite large, and the neck is quite thick, like that, and keep the head short. Again, you can work with those circles, 1, 2, and you can put, once you've got your circles in, you can put in your details. So the nostril is quite large, and his mouth is going back. He's wearing a halter. His eye is sort of about there. Again, you can do that via measuring, like that. We've got quite square heads of these little Welsh mountain ponies. And his ears are there. His ears are backwards in this video, in this section of the video, but I'm just going to put them forwards. And they're quite small. And he's got forelock and a mane coming down in quite a sort of rounded shape like that. So there you go. That's the first drawing. You can have a go yourself, or you can follow what I'm doing, but you can see he looks like a pony. So this is, remember that this is a pony, right? So ponies have shorter limbs, neck and head, ears, etc, etc. So remember to do that. If your pony looks like a horse, the reason why that is because you've got your limbs or your head too long. Okay, so that's pose 1. Okay, so I'm still working with the same pencil, 4B, and I'm looking at pose 2 now. So I just quickly drew it out because I just want to quickly draw this back in again. So I started with circle, 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 line, 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 like I did with the other pose. And then I started to fill out the basic structure of this little pony. And you can see I've got a nice thick, I'm going to put his withers in, and his leg, again quite furry, and it's really projecting backwards here. He's standing on his, right on his toes. I can't quite get his feet in, his hoofs, should I say, feet. He's looking at us in this picture, so I'm going to show you how to draw a face, a horse's face, projecting towards you. So I just wanted to get this in quickly. Again, you can look at the part of the video that I'm looking at if you want to follow the video and my drawing. Make sure you've got a rubber on you just in case you make a mistake. And this leg, his tail comes out and down, but this leg is projecting backwards away from us. Again, keep this level higher than this level because this is further away, like that. Okay, remember he's got furry fetlocks where those hooves touch the leg. Withers. Now with the neck. You can put the neck in, but obviously we're going to put a mane on there. Because the head is projecting towards us, normally you would draw a head like that. Okay, roughly. But because it's coming towards us, what we do is we sort of create more oval, so it looks like it's projecting towards us. So all you do is you shorten up that space, and you shorten and you narrow the circles so that they become ovals like that. See? Okay, so you can see I've got my circle there, my circle there, but I'm just going to put in the muzzle, and then it's very short there, but you can still see a little bit of his cheek, but not much, and his eye goes in there like that, and his other ear is projecting out of the main area. Okay, so we can't see, I don't think we can see much of his mouth. You might get a little touch coming in there like that, but you can see both his nostrils. You'll be able to see the side of this one and most of that one. Okay, so then you sort of think, right, so I want to develop this little picture on. He does also have a halter on, and you can use the halter to describe the face a little more than it is being described. It will sort of fall onto areas, and it will help describe that shape a little bit more. So you can always have a go at putting that in if you want to, like that. Okay, so next is, right, what do we do? Well, we've got 5 minutes, right, in this one, and we've got to think, right, quite quickly, what do we do with shading and things like that? So look again, look very carefully, keep looking at your subject. Don't lose focus on the fact that you are drawing a live animal. So his eye needs to go in. Underneath here there would be some shading. Underneath here there would be some shading. So look closely for the pony is also lit. It's lit by lighting in the studio where they're filming this. So he will have shadows in places that he wouldn't have if he was outside. But the shadows will describe where the muscle structure is, how the muscles are working. And again, you can use that cross hatching to get them really dark. So one direction, then change direction, and that becomes darker. Where the hooves are darker than the horse's legs, so you would have a darker area there, a darker area coming under here. The tail would be darker just here, but again, because it drops in, the hair drops like this, draw the lines like that, and then you'll get a texture that represents, and it obviously gets lighter because it's white as it comes outwards. The pony that we've got here is I think it's a Welsh mountain pony, I'm not absolutely sure, but if it is, let's call it that. Has a dappled effect on its coat. So his inside of his ears, which we can see from the front because he's projecting them forward like that, are darker. His eyes darker. His halter is probably the darkest part of him. So you can shade that in. And then he's got his mane, which comes down here like that. A bit of shadow on the front of his withers there, maybe a little bit of shadow there. Now the dapple effect is like lots of spots, so you could easily just go in and lightly put in some marks like this, and that would give you that dappled effect. They're particularly prevalent on his rump, and they sort of go down like that. They almost stretch in places. So look at the different textures that are being created by his coat, and if you know which direction, if you can see it on the film, which direction the hair is falling, like where his belly comes down here, the hair falls this way, like this, and it goes up and it goes round the form, because this is not flat, it's a cylindrical shape, so it has a round surface to it. So if you use your lines like this, and then maybe round here like this, round here like this, then you'll find that the form of the creature will come out at you if you use these curved lines like that. You can also smudge with your finger like this. If your pencil is soft enough, smudge in the shape of the animal like this. Not a lot of darkness in this animal because he's white, so there won't be a great deal, but that's almost enough to play with. Let's have a look at, keep looking back at your picture. I've got, let's just okay, so we've got under here is a bit darker. Again, just work over areas, use your finger to smudge. If you don't like using your fingers to smudge, you can use a smudging tool. That can either be a rolled up piece of paper, a bit of rag, but I actually like getting physically involved in my drawing. Like that. The leg behind would be slightly darker than the one in the foreground, so darken that one up a bit like that. That will send that one backwards. Same with this one, like that. Restore your lines by going over them if you need to, like this. I'm trying to see his face. Right, his face would be darker under here and under there. Might have a slight darkness on that side, and there's a line that comes down the middle of the face of the horse there that makes that area concave slightly. And then forelock can just be described through line. A little bit of shading maybe. Mane the same. It's difficult to make the mane white, but if you just put some lines in like that, then that will help. Now then, to reveal the dapple, oops, using, let's just go in here and bring that out a bit so that that leg comes forward. Okay, so there we have our pony from life. If you want to remove the dapple using a rubber, you can do. So especially if you've got a rubber that has some points on it, this is like it's a rubber in the shape of a rock. I got it years ago, but it's good because it has these little points on it. Then you can actually rub away the dapple using your rubber. So just like this. So you've got some marks coming down. Can you see that? So even within the bits that you've done over here, like that. There's the way of revealing the dapple. Again, if you've
over shaded areas and you want to restore some whites, you just bring your rubber down like that, and you can restore the white areas. If there's highlights, so for example on the front of this leg here, you can restore the highlights. Okay, so don't be scared if you've overdone it with the shading using your finger. And the beautiful thing about that is that also if you rub away too much, like I've done there, you can just smooth it back in again. It's really quite satisfying. So don't forget to restore areas if you've lost them. You can put the hooves back in. Put some more definition in if you need. Edge of the tail. A bit more black in the eye. And just keep closely looking at your pony, looking at the image on the computer. And basically the more you do of this, the better really. Do some little sketches, play, you know, don't just do one pony, do several. I mean, you've got multiple images, especially if you pause them and use them that way. You can draw this pony from all the different angles that he moves through, and just keep building those tones up and structures until you're happy with what you've got. Okay, right, I think we'll leave that there for now. It's just a quick sketch. It's only supposed to be 5 minutes. I've probably gone on a little bit long there, but you've got this one, and then you've got this one, which was the first one that I did. And then if you want to, you can have a go at doing some of my other sketches. So if I just zoom out again, and I can show you these pictures. This is a rodeo, some sort of circus. This is a Lipizzaner stallion. Okay. So again, you can just pause on these and have a go at them if you want to have a go at them. I know they look quite complex, but once you've got that skeletal structure in, you know, that one's quite a nice one. Circle, 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 neck, legs, and so on. Okay, so have a go, look at those images online, see how you get on. Like I said, just keep the features short and you should get a pony quite easily. And if you want to then move on and have a go at something else, then you can have a go at the life drawing proper, which is the longer video. And here I've got some life drawings, if I can just get my camera to stay still. This is an extra big book. This is an A3 sketchbook that I managed to find just recently. And I took it drawing, well, I've done some landscapes in it, but I took it life drawing with me recently. So this is charcoal, and these are quick poses, so you can see they're very simple, but it's just about getting the structure in place. That's charcoal and white chalk, same again. I'm just wondering if you can see all the image there. So quick poses. This one was slightly longer, but using colour. I tend to limit the colour that I'm using so that I don't overcomplicate things. 5 minute drawings. That was lady sitting down, and another one there sideways on, lengthways on. That was a 25-minute pose, that was, so there's a lot of looking in that. This was another one that I did that was online, again a part of the BBC Life Drawing Live last year, where they tried to reenact the Christ on the Cross of Salvador Dali. So it was looking at perspective and drawing, looking at the feet first and going away from you. It's incredibly difficult, but really satisfying to have a go at. That was another pose. There's a couple of quick poses there. Same program. This is the same program, but this was with a model and a musical instrument. Again, another model with just partially clothed, and that was the cow that we did just recently. So, you know, have a go. I love life drawing. I think it's a wonderful thing, and it's the best thing for you to learn how to draw. And, you know, get all your art materials out and introduce, because, you know, with the pony you can introduce some colour. You could use some black charcoal, maybe some grey charcoal, or pastels, or even paint. Okay, hope that's okay for now. Enjoy the sessions. Please send me some pictures, and if you've got any questions, just ask me. All right, bye for now. See you next time.